Imagine stepping into a casino for the first time. The air vibrates with music and the chiming of slot machines, lights flash like a permanent fireworks show, and stacks of chips glide across green felt as fortunes shift in seconds. This dazzling spectacle isn't just designed to entertain, it's a carefully engineered world built to stir excitement, release dopamine, and make you believe that with one more spin or one more hand, life-changing riches could be yours. That promise of easy money has fascinated gamblers for centuries, but it has also drawn a very different crowd. Criminals who see the casino floor as a treasure vault hiding in plain sight. From the earliest gambling halls of 17th century Venice to the opulent Monte Carlo salons of the 1800s, casinos have always been magnets for both risk-takers and rule-breakers. As gambling grew into a global industry, the stakes climbed higher, and so did the temptation to cheat the house. By the mid-20th century, Las Vegas erupted out of the Nevada desert as the ultimate playground for anyone chasing fortune or looking to bend the law. Flashy neon lights masked a darker reality. Organized crime families poured in to skim profits, launder money, and intimidate anyone who got in their way. The very qualities that made casinos glamorous, round-the-clock action, rivers of cash, and the thrill of anonymity, also made them irresistible to the underworld. The appeal isn't just about money, it's about opportunity. Where else can you find millions of dollars changing hands every night under a roof that welcomes strangers from every corner of the world? Professional criminals understand that whenever large sums are at stake, human weakness follows. Greed, distraction, arrogance. Card sharps have spent decades perfecting sleight-of-hand techniques, while high-tech hackers target slot machine algorithms and RFID chip systems. Some try to manipulate dealers, others bribe insiders for access to security blueprints or shift camera angles at the perfect moment. Yet casinos are far from helpless targets. Security in these glittering arenas has become a sophisticated arms race. Surveillance teams, known as the Eye in the Sky, monitor every square inch with cameras that can read the serial number on a chip from across the room. Facial recognition software alerts staff the instant a known cheater walks through the door. But criminals are creative, and each time technology tightens the net, someone devises a new trick to slip through. Consider the infamous teams who used hidden microcomputers to predict roulette outcomes by timing the wheel's rotation, or the crews that swapped high-value chips for fakes so perfect they fooled dealers and inspectors alike. Some operations unfold like Hollywood heists, complete with disguises, inside informants, and split-second getaways. Others are subtler but no less profitable, draining casinos of millions before anyone notices. This glittering battlefield between the house and those who would outsmart it sets the stage for some of the most audacious crimes ever caught on camera. Every card, shuffle, and dice roll hides a story of ambition, risk, and the human hunger to win big, by any means necessary. As the chips stack higher and the stakes grow hotter, the question is never just whether the player will beat the house, but whether the criminal can outrun the unblinking eye that watches every move. The history of casino crime is packed with stories that feel ripped from a blockbuster film, but every detail is real. Among the most legendary heists is the 1992 Stardust chip caper in Las Vegas. Bill Brennan, a trusted sportsbook cashier, strolled out of the casino carrying a bag stuffed with more than $500,000 in cash and chips. No masks, no weapons, no dramatic chase, just a calm walk through the front door. Brennan simply vanished and remains one of the FBI's most elusive casino fugitives. His inside knowledge of daily operations exposed a glaring weakness. Casinos often relied on employee loyalty more than airtight security, and one clever insider could exploit that trust in seconds. Another daring operation unfolded in 2000 at the Bellagio, also in Las Vegas, where a man later dubbed the Biker Bandit executed a high-speed chip theft. Anthony Carleo, the son of a Las Vegas municipal judge, arrived on a motorcycle, ran inside wearing a full-face helmet, and scooped $1.5 million in high-value chips from the craps table. He roared off into the night before anyone could react. Carlio's downfall wasn't the heist itself, but the aftermath. He tried to sell the marked chips online, unaware the casino could track every piece. Technology, it turned out, could be as powerful a detective as any police squad. Criminals have also used meticulous planning and high-tech gadgets to manipulate games themselves. In the early 1980s, the Roselli gang used miniature computers hidden in shoes to predict roulette outcomes. By precisely timing the wheel's rotations and ball speed, they gained an edge that netted hundreds of thousands of dollars before casinos caught on. A similar scheme in the 2000s involved hidden laser scanners and wireless transmitters, allowing accomplices to feed real-time data to gamblers at the table. These operations proved that brains and tech could sometimes outwit even the most sophisticated surveillance chip switch scams. Offer another striking example. In one case, a team of criminals created nearly perfect replicas of high-value chips, swapping them in during chaotic moments at busy tables. After laundering the fakes through cash-outs or trades for smaller denominations, they disappeared with millions. Even with cameras everywhere, the sleight of hand and the sheer volume of activity made detection nearly impossible until after the fact. Insider collusion often played a critical role. Dealers might be bribed to overlook a quick hand movement or to accidentally miscount chips in a payout. Perhaps the most cinematic of all was the 2010 Crown Casino scam in Melbourne, Australia. An international high roller gained access to the casino's security cameras through a corrupt insider. Using real-time surveillance feeds, accomplices signaled him when to bet big on the high-limit baccarat tables. Over 8 hands, they pocketed roughly $33 million before security uncovered the plot. The heist demonstrated that in a digital age, hacking and inside access could be more valuable than guns or disguises. These legendary heists share a common thread: exploiting gaps in human judgment and technological defenses. Whether it's an employee's misplaced trust, a software vulnerability, or the arrogance of believing no one is watching, criminals have continually probed for weak spots. Yet nearly every one of these schemes eventually unraveled. Casinos improved camera networks, introduced RFID chips that can be deactivated remotely, and built databases of known cheats shared across the industry. The cat-and-mouse game continues, but these audacious robberies remain benchmarks in the dangerous dance between high-stakes ambition and relentless surveillance. Casino surveillance has earned the nickname the eye in the sky for a reason. It misses almost nothing. Over the years, some of the most jaw-dropping crime footage has come from those discreet, ceiling-mounted cameras that never blink. One unforgettable example came from the Las Vegas Flamingo, where a pair of slot machine hackers thought they had beaten the system. They used hidden microprocessors to time the machine's payout cycles, pressing the spin button at a precisely calculated instant. For a while, the scheme worked. But the cameras caught every unusual pause, every furtive glance, and every suspicious tap on their concealed devices. Security analysts reviewing the feed in real time noticed the identical betting patterns and radioed the floor team. Within minutes, uniformed guards surrounded the machine, and the stunned hackers were escorted out, their winning streak permanently ended. Mistakes like these often seal a criminal's fate. Take the story of a dealer-player collusion ring at an Atlantic City blackjack table. The inside dealer would flash the hole card to an accomplice at just the right moment. What they overlooked was a camera angle directly above the dealer's shoulder. Surveillance staff spotted a repeated subtle wrist movement as the dealer bent the card, a motion imperceptible to guests, but glaring to a trained eye on a zoomed-in lens. The footage gave investigators everything they needed. Security intercepted the group before their shift ended, and law enforcement arrived to make arrests backed by crystal-clear video evidence. Sometimes it's sheer overconfidence that does the criminals in. The biker bandit, who brazenly robbed the Bellagio of $1.5 million in chips, believed a motorcycle helmet would make him unrecognizable. High-definition cameras proved otherwise, capturing distinct clothing patterns and even small tattoos glimpsed at the wrist. Within days, facial recognition software cross-checked those features against local databases, pointing police directly to Anthony Carleo. He was in handcuffs before he could cash a single high-value chip casino security teams work like an elite military unit. In large properties, entire floors house surveillance command centers filled with wall-to-wall monitors and advanced software that flags anomalies automatically. Analysts track player behavior, dealer movements, and chip counts simultaneously. When something feels off, they coordinate with undercover security officers stationed throughout the casino, often dressed as ordinary guests. These plainclothes guards can respond within seconds, quietly positioning themselves near suspects until uniformed officers arrive. The collaboration between surveillance crews, floor staff, and local law enforcement is seamless. When a crime unfolds, every second counts, and the ability to share real-time video with police dispatchers ensures a swift, coordinated takedown. One striking case involved a counterfeit chip ring that tried to flood a Las Vegas casino with flawless replicas. Security cameras picked up a tiny inconsistency. A player repeatedly palmed chips in a way that didn't match typical betting habits. Zoomed-in footage revealed microscopic printing errors on the fakes. Within an hour, security isolated the suspects and locked down the cashier cages, preventing the counterfeit chips from entering circulation. Police arrived to find the culprits cornered, the evidence captured in crisp detail. These episodes highlight a truth every would-be casino criminal eventually learns. The house watches everything. Advanced AI now analyzes crowd movement, facial expressions, and betting patterns, flagging even slight deviations. Every dramatic arrest you've seen on casino surveillance is a reminder that the glittering casino floor is one of the most intensely monitored environments on Earth. In the contest between cunning criminals and the unblinking eye in the sky, technology and teamwork usually win, catching offenders red-handed before they even know they've lost. Behind the glimmer of spinning roulette wheels and the thunder of slot machines lies a darker network that stretches far beyond any single casino floor. Casinos, with their constant flow of cash and transient crowds, have long been irresistible to organized crime syndicates looking for a place to clean dirty money and expand their power. From the American mob to international cartels, these groups view gambling hubs as more than entertainment. They are sophisticated financial laundromats and meeting grounds for global criminal enterprises. The roots of this underworld connection run deep in Las Vegas history. During the 1940s and 50s, mobsters like Benjamin Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky saw the desert city as fertile ground for an empire. They financed casinos such as the Flamingo with mob money, then skimmed profits before reporting earnings to the government. Skimming, secretly taking a cut of the cash flow before it ever reached the books, was nearly impossible to trace in an era before digital accounting. These operations gave organized crime a steady stream of tax-free income and helped turn Vegas from a sleepy stopover into a neon powerhouse. Money laundering remains one of the most persistent connections between casinos and crime. Criminals who traffic in drugs, arms, or cyber fraud need to make illicit profits look legitimate. Casinos offer the perfect disguise. A criminal can buy chips with cash, gamble lightly, or even simply walk around, then cash out claiming lucky winnings. Even with modern anti-money laundering laws, sophisticated rings still find ways to exploit gaps. Reports from Europol and the U.S. Treasury have documented cases where cartels cycle millions through casinos using networks of low-level smurfs, each buying small amounts of chips to avoid detection before pooling the clean funds elsewhere. These activities are rarely solo ventures. International crime groups often collaborate across borders, creating webs of shell companies and offshore accounts. In Asia, for example, high-roller junket operators have occasionally been tied to triads, Chinese organized crime groups that provide VIP gamblers with credit and then move cash across borders under the guise of luxury gambling tours. Australian regulators have exposed similar schemes in which billions of illicit dollars moved through VIP rooms in Melbourne and Sydney, linking casino floors to global drug syndicates. Investigative journalists and law enforcement reports reveal how these networks operate. A 2021 United Nations study on transnational organized crime detailed how criminals use complex layers of intermediaries, bankers, accountants, and seemingly legitimate casino managers to disguise the trail. Former mob associates interviewed in documentaries like Inside the American Mob describe meetings held in lavish casino suites where deals were struck over champagne, far from prying eyes. Their testimonies highlight how the casino's festive atmosphere serves as both a distraction and a cover for covert negotiations. Yet, the battle is far from one-sided. Governments and international agencies have tightened regulations, requiring casinos to report suspicious transactions and enforce strict identity checks. Modern surveillance, advanced data analytics, and interagency cooperation have exposed many laundering operations, forcing syndicates to evolve constantly. The FBI's Operation Strawman, for instance, dismantled several casino-linked laundering schemes in the United States by tracing hidden financial flows and flipping insiders who provided critical evidence. Still, the allure of casinos as a financial pipeline for the underworld persists. The mix of glamour, fast-moving cash, and global clientele continues to attract syndicates seeking both profit and influence. Every roll of the dice in a high-stakes room could mask a money transfer for a drug cartel or a quiet negotiation between rival gangs. Behind the glittering lights and the promise of fortune, the criminal underworld keeps looking for its next opportunity, proving that the house isn't the only player determined to win big. Today's casinos operate more like high-tech command centers than simple gaming halls, and that transformation is a direct response to decades of clever scams and dramatic heists. Modern casino security blends artificial intelligence, biometric identification, and predictive analytics into a layered defense system designed to stop crime before it starts. The result is an environment where every spin of the wheel and shuffle of the deck is tracked, analyzed, and stored, making casinos some of the most closely monitored spaces on Earth. Artificial intelligence plays a central role. Advanced algorithms study live video feeds from thousands of cameras, scanning for unusual patterns. A player repeatedly exchanging chips in odd increments, a dealer moving with irregular timing, or a sudden crowding of a particular table. AI doesn't just record events, it learns from them, using past incidents to predict potential threats in real time. When an anomaly is flagged, a silent alert reaches the surveillance team, who can zoom in with high-resolution cameras or dispatch undercover security personnel within seconds. Biometric technology adds another critical layer. Many large casinos now use facial recognition at entrances and on the gaming floor. Known cheats and banned players are logged in extensive databases, and cameras match faces against those lists instantly. This system can even identify suspects who try to disguise themselves with hats or sunglasses using subtle measurements of facial structure. Fingerprint scanners and even iris recognition are being tested to verify high-stakes players and employees, making it harder for imposters or inside accomplices to slip through unnoticed. Predictive analytics takes surveillance a step further by turning raw data into actionable insight. By analyzing betting patterns, cash movement, and player behavior over time, casinos can forecast where fraud is most likely to occur. If a roulette table suddenly experiences an abnormal run of high payouts, the system automatically cross-references dealer shifts, machine maintenance logs, and player profiles to detect potential collusion or tampering. This proactive approach allows casinos to intervene before losses escalate. But technology isn't the only defense. Human vigilance remains vital, and both gamblers and employees can help maintain security. Regular players should stay aware of their surroundings. Watch for anyone who seems unusually interested in your chips, or who tries to distract you during a payout. If you see someone repeatedly circling tables without playing or notice a dealer being pressured by a friendly patron, alert security. Employees, from dealers to cleaning staff, are trained to recognize subtle cues like hand signals between players, sudden changes in betting behavior, or attempts to block camera views. Quick reporting can prevent a small scam from turning into a major theft. The overarching lesson from decades of casino crime is simple. The house always adapts. Every high-profile heist, whether it involved microcomputers hidden in shoes or millions laundered through VIP rooms, has pushed security to innovate. Today, even the most sophisticated criminals face an environment where their every move is recorded in high definition, cross-checked by AI, and reviewed by experts who specialize in spotting deception. For anyone tempted to outsmart the system, the takeaway is clear. Crime may pay for a night, but the cameras never blink and the databases never forget. Modern casinos operate as digital fortresses where technology and human expertise combine to ensure that cheating the house is no longer a game of chance, it's a guaranteed loss.